Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. Sorry for the delay there for those that have been waiting for the stream to start. I don't know what was going on there. My computer just had a hiccup and it wasn't kicking in for whatever reason. It seems to be working now, so that's good. Yeah, I decided to do some more NES. I mean, I did a whole bunch of Atari streams before, and I thought, it'd be good to do some NES. Hopefully my internet connection is going to keep up with me here. I know I've had some problems before with streaming, and it just seems to always be on and off, and I don't know. Just going to wait a minute here, make sure that everything is up and going. And just going to be there. Hope there's no delays. Okay, so I decided to start off with a classic. Maybe I'll stick with some of the classic games. And by classic games, I mean the games that were, ported onto the NES that were classic games from the beginning. You know, like Donkey Kong, PacMan, whatever. I don't know. I'll throw them out there. But let's just get going here. I got the chat going on the side here, so feel free to throw some chat suggestions in there if you want. I'm going to close a bunch of other windows down just to try and prevent any kind of lag. That's always a good thing. So let's start with Donkey Kong. Now this has always been one of my favorite games. I actually don't mind the Nintendo version. I mean, they did a pretty good job. I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that it's a little bit different than a lot of the versions I'm used to. The other thing I have to say is, like, and I think a lot of people say this, is why is there only 3 stages? What is going on with not being able to have the 4th pie stage? Like, it's Nintendo. It's their own product. How's it going, Retro Revolutions? We have Mr. Toon in here, and we have Retro Revolutions in the chat right now. But yeah, what I was saying is, like, what is going on here? I mean, I don't think anybody's had any, like, answer to this. I don't know if anybody's, like, officially ever asked or looked into Nintendo for the reason. I mean, the arcade game had 4 stages. It had the original barrel level, which then moved on to like this stage, the elevators, and then we had we had this stage, which is the rivet stage, but there was also a pie stage, and it seems like the only systems that actually have that pie stage are like computer systems, like my Commodore 64. I know when I played Donkey Kong on the Commodore 64, it's got the pie stage. I believe a lot of the other computer systems have it too. So, what's with the consoles? Like, the Atari 2600 only has the first 2 stages. Same with the Intellivision. I mean, even though the Intellivision is, always, held a special place in my heart, it only has this stage and the barrel stage. Now, the animations in this is pretty good. I mean, seeing the whole Mario, the way he acts, the Kong, Donkey Kong, the way he falls and all that stuff, that's all, cool and stuff. But pretty much what I just did there was the full loop, and then it just keeps going. Other things is, I'm always used to Hammer being here, but, whatever, it's over there now. And another thing is, which I probably brought up in the past, is double barrel. Sometimes Kong is on the right-hand side, sometimes Kong is on the left-hand side. I think it has to do with, the way they can actually build the board. If they have enough, I don't know, sprites, pixels, whatever, to build the board high enough, depending on if he's going to end up on the left or the right. This stage never changes, though. Every game, like the ColecoVision, Nintendo, arcade, all of them, Kong is always on the left-hand side. Never changes. So, it's only on the initial barrel stage that, depending on the system you're playing on, Kong will either be on the right or the left. Oh, so, whoops. That was close. So Rex Warren saying that at least the connection is 97% stable on the last stream. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Everything seems to be running well, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went downhill. Maybe let me just double check there. Oops, pushed the wrong button. Of course I did. Let's see, I think, yeah. I think it's kind of going on and off on me. I'm just checking it live right now, and it's like, meh. That's what I hate about live streaming sometimes. It's a hit and miss. I usually prefer just uploading videos, but... Yeah, I'm not going to try and jump him. Jumping these guys is never a good thing. Still remember when I bought Donkey Kong Classics. Oh, get up there. For the NES. I actually ended up tracking it down in a secondhand store. Because at the time I didn't have any systems. Well, I think the only system I had at the time was my Nintendo. Means what? Having a problem watching it. Must be a delay. Yeah, so at the time I didn't have any systems. I didn't have my Commodore, I didn't have my Intellivision anymore, I didn't have anything. So I probably had my Atari, but I didn't have the Donkey Kong for the Atari. So I really didn't have any Donkey Kong games, so I remember tracking it down, and I ended up getting the Donkey Kong Classics, which also had Junior in there. Which was pretty good. I mean, you get 2 for 1. And the problem is with these games for Nintendo is Nintendo's like far more capable of playing like more advanced games than these. Like Super Mario Brothers. I mean, come on. These are just 4 levels. Like this system can handle a whole game like Super Mario Brothers. So it's kind of a rip-off if you think about it. If you were to like just buy this game for the Nintendo at the same price as buying Legend of Zelda, for instance. Whoa. And can you imagine, you know, like, spending all that money, you just get these 3 levels, they repeat themselves. Oh, jeez, I missed it. Okay, at least I landed on that. Come on, come on. Oh. Screw the umbrella. Let's just race it. Oh my goodness. Mario is not as agile in this game as he is in Super Mario Brothers. He falls off of ledges very easily. And he can't beat a simple barrel. There we go. Oh, I thought I was there. I thought I was there. Oh, jeez. Rex Warden saying he's getting 2 seconds of video every 2 minutes. Let's see what's going on here. Just bear with me on this one. if I reset? I don't know what that'll do to my connection. It says I'm connected, which is fine. I'm going to move on to some other games now. Hopefully it'll work itself out. So let's just keep going. Let's see. Just want to play some classic games here. 1942. That's a good one. I don't know if I've ever played this game on, if it even works. On my Nintendo. Maybe it doesn't even work. Never tried it. Alright. Let's go through the list. Oh, games. Arkanoid. Back to the Future. Nah. I know. Beetlejuice. Too many games. Bump and Jump. Yeah! Bump and Jump. Let's do it. Help me. I don't know if I've ever played this version before. Played this on the ColecoVision. Commodore 60. Oh no, in television. This doesn't seem like a Nintendo game to me. Seems like Nintendo could have done a little bit better. It's really slow. Oops. As I run into the water. Seems to be working fine now. Good. Hopefully it worked itself out. It's crazy how sometimes my streaming works fine sometimes and then it just goes all haywire. Actually, I don't pay enough money for my service as it is. I can imagine if I called up my provider and said I want to make sure my streams always go perfect, they'd be like, oh, we'll just add on an extra $100 to your bill. Game over. Let's try it again. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. I just expected a little bit better from Nintendo. This looks a little... I don't know. This almost seems like something I would expect on the Atari 7800. I don't know what those jars of that I'm grabbing, the things that says P on it, I don't know what those are. Of course, my experience, or first experience with Bump and Jump was on the Intellivision. I bought it from a computer store, I remember, because at that time when I bought this, Intellivision games were pretty much on the out. Like, Intellivision itself was already becoming obsolete. I still played on mine, and I think most people didn't even know what Intellivision was at this point. And this one store in this mall I used to go to all the time, it's like a computer store. They still had a few old Intellivision games kicking around, and this was one of them, and Pinball. And so I bought it. I don't really like this. And yeah, it was my first experience of Bump and Jump. It wasn't bad. just bought it like because the game looked cool on the back, so I'm like, hey, why not? Let's see here. Commando. That game is just, I don't know. Dig Dug 2. What? There's a Dig Dug 2? Alright, what's Dig Dug 2? Is it just basically Dig Dug with better graphics? Why am I not digging any holes? Is this an actual release on Nintendo or what? What is this? Oh wow. So they literally just kind of changed the game around. Yes, that's true, Jeff. Pump and Jump is good on all consoles. I just find it's so different. Like, there's so many different variants of it. Like, the graphics are different, the play style is almost different. Still prefer the Intellivision one, I don't know why. Coleco one wasn't too bad. Wasn't too crazy, but the Nintendo one, though. Whoops. I don't get it, though. How is this Dig Dug? Like, you're not digging. You're just... Like, in Dig Dug... Unless there's something I'm missing here. Oh. Whoa. Okay, yeah, there's totally something I'm missing there. You're, like, literally destroying the ground. Huh. That's crazy. I mean, this is definitely a lot different than traditional Dig Dug. Like, you're literally destroying the entire surface. But is there an advantage to that? Oops. Holy Jiminy. I mean, it feels like a Dig Dug game. I don't know. I've never heard of Dig Dug 2, so I don't even know if this exists on any other consoles, if this was in the arcade like this. Never seen this before. So let's see here. Oh. If you stand on it. Okay, so if you stand on it and you point in a direction. Oh wow, fish jumped out. You have to be on those little circular spots there. Oh, I just fell in the water. That's not very convenient. We're playing Dig Dug 2. Green Lantern HG just chimed in asking what we're playing. Yeah, I've never played this before. I didn't even realize I had this. Never even heard of it. I didn't know there was a Dig Dug 2. I don't know if this is like a arcade port or what. This is like a... I mean, I've played Dig Dug on Atari and stuff. So you gotta be careful you don't just fall off the ledge, because that'll kill you. Seems to be following a lot of the same idea. Definitely has a different kind of skill level. I don't see the point of actually drilling into the ground, though. Maybe as it gets harder, you can eliminate more enemies at once by drilling an entire section of the ground. But it looks like the amount of enemies can increase each turn, or each level. So maybe the idea is to get them all into one section and then just like drown them. Oops. Yeah, see? It's crazy. Oh, I just got some points. Kind of like a Tetris idea. It was released in the arcades. Ah. Yeah, the first one I think... I mean, this is interesting. I like how they just kind of changed it up a bit. Game over. Yay. Alright, let's look for some more arcade classics. That'd be neat to try. It's in here somewhere. Joust. I don't think I've ever played this on Nintendo. I've played this on Atari. I've even played this on Commodore 64. Never on Nintendo. I'm assuming it's the same, but... Whoa. He moves fast. Okay then. Galaga, that would be a good one too. Should do Galaga next. It's actually a pretty decent version of the game. This really feels like an arcade style. Like actually playing on an arcade. Oops. Oh. I need to get the egg. Oh, I'm not going to get that egg, am I? Oh, I could try. Pin. Whoa! 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 That was crazy. The speed on this, it's a lot faster than what I'm used to. Look how fast he's going. On the Atari 2600, it doesn't move that fast. This is probably like arcade speed or something. Also, I'm not used to the D-pad. Yeah, I'm not doing too well here. Well, this is painful. Again, this is another one of those games I was surprised to actually see released on Nintendo. Actually, I remember being in a video game store and I saw this. It was like one of those, you know, used video... Ugh, getting terrible here. One of those used video game stores, and I saw it just sitting there on the display. I'm like, Joust? They made a Joust for Nintendo? Like... Guess it was, you know, part of the Arcade Classics editions. Jeez. Painful. Because you just don't think of these type of games on Nintendo, because, you know, Nintendo tried to do the, you know, the whole, let's one-up all the arcade games and come up with all these better games like Super Mario Brothers and Zelda, so you're not expecting games like these to show up. Especially when the 7800 was doing it. Ah, terrible at that game. Terrible! Let's see if I have Galaga. Galaga! One player. Well, it's got the same music. Stage 1. Oh wow, the fire button's just not as responsive on this. You could hear me like clicking away on this thing, like. This is definitely something where the NES Advantage would really, you know, shine. Actual arcade joystick. Not a D-pad. See, I remember when my friend had an NES Advantage, and at the time I would only play Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo, and I thought, what the heck's the point of the NES Advantage when, you know, the D-pad or the regular gamepad is better than, you know, playing on a joystick. But I wasn't thinking that these games existed. Ah, crap. We're getting a buffer again? Just can't win. Is it me or is this game running at a slow pace? Aside from the buffering. Is the arcade this slow? Whoa. Game over. Crap. Well, that was not too good. Well, let's hope the buffering will stop. Contra. I'm just throwing random games out here right now, so I've never played this before, so bear with me on that. Oh well, I can't say I've never played this before. I played this on the Commodore 64. Never played this on the Nintendo. Let's hope this is pretty much the same idea. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I used to play this a lot on the Commodore 64. How do we get that guy? Without dying. Oh. As I said, it's been a long time since I played this game. So seems like it's the same as what I remember from the Commodore, so it should be a game I should try again, is playing this on the Commodore 64. Crazy. missing those guys down there. Oops. I just find it funny that this is like a better game than like Rambo or Commando or any of the other games that are based off of like a popular action series. How am I gonna get that? Jeez. Lost me completely. What's going on now? Why is my stream so bad? Crappy internet. We'll get there. Keep going. That's what I find with these streaming sessions is sometimes I get through and sometimes I don't. This guy's kind of hard to like operate. There we go. Again, this would be better with a joystick. Definitely better with an NES Advantage. Doesn't quite work with the D-pad. So that's how you cross that bridge. Jump. Aw. Almost made it too. Again, sorry for the stream delay. I don't know. My last stream was pretty good. Tell anymore. And I figure if I stream long enough, hopefully you can catch a little bit of it. Holy Jiminy. Game over. I keep forgetting that bridge explodes. Let me just make sure my buffering is going on here. What's it doing? Crazy. It's crazy. It's good for 2 minutes and now back to buffering. Crap. Maybe I should have just reset my thing. Maybe I'll do that. I'll try that. Am I back? Am I working now? Well, let's see if I'm back. But, in order to see if I'm back, I need to keep playing, so... Let's go to another game. Xevious. This is one that I keep hearing is really good on the Atari 7800. Again, another game I don't think I've ever played it. This looks like it should be on the 7800. This doesn't look like a Nintendo game to me. Oh, I see. Wow, the sound effects in this are crap. What is that noise? Does it sound like this on the 7800 as well? Hold on a sec here. Can't see the chats. This is crazy. Alright. Let me put that down there. Seems like I'm up and going in the stream sometimes and then it's just dying on me. It's a shame. It really sucks. This really is not that great of a game, I don't know. I mean, for a Nintendo game anyways. I wouldn't be very satisfied if I had this one. In fact, it's actually quite boring, so I'm going to move on to another classic, and yes, I know I'm jumping around here. But this is what this is all about. I don't want to just stick to one game at this point. I just want to just play a bunch of random games and just have some fun. Let's do Burger Time. As you could tell, if you've been able to watch my stream or whatever, you'll see I've been throwing in a lot of classic games. That's what I thought this should be. Just like a lot of classics. The old arcade style. I still stand by my saying that the Intellivision one is the best one. It might not be as accurate to the arcade, but it's still one of my more favorite titles on the system. Like, I remember when I got Burger Time on the Intellivision, I was so excited. I don't even think I even knew what Burger Time was, and I was still excited. But then when I started playing it, I was just like, you know, completely fascinated by it. I just don't remember why I knew about the game. It's just, I don't know if I played it on the arcade, or if it was just something I heard my brother talking about all the time, or what. Whoa. But when we first got this on the Intellivision, I was just like, super excited. I find the controls on this to be a little awkward. Wow. They really tried to make the Nintendo versions like the arcade. By that I mean hard. Keep getting stuck on the ladders. Just want to get that ice cream cone. Whoa. Killed by a weenie. I just picked this up too on the ColecoVision. I did a video on this a long time ago. One of the first few videos I did on Brian's Man Cave on comparing the Coleco version to the Atari to the Intellivision. But at the time I borrowed the cartridge from a friend of mine, so I didn't actually own the Coleco version. I only owned the Intellivision and the Atari version. The Atari version is Atari 2600, I mean, is not that good. Not that good at all. I mean, it tries to follow the whole, like the actual same level scheme, but the graphics don't make any bloody sense. Whoa. Jeff is saying, watching you play tonight is going to make me dust off the NES remix game on my Wii U. Oh, I think I actually played a bit of that on the at the, what was it, at Toys R Us. I think they were demoing that one. Is that the one where they have like the Donkey Kong and stuff, but they kind of changed the game around a bit to like you're in the dark and stuff? And I think I remember playing like a Super Mario Brothers run or something where, what was it, you couldn't, there was something you couldn't do. Like they literally changed up the game a bit to make it like you could only jump or something, or I don't know, it was weird. Yeah, NES classic games with challenges. Sounds about right. Yeah, I remember playing on the Wii U. I don't have a Wii U. I only have a Wii. And frankly, I only bought the Wii because of the Wii Sports, which again I hardly ever play. So I think it was just a gimmick that I bought into. And I waited a long time before I bought my Wii. Whoa. Like, literally a long time before the prices came down. Probably even the Wii U was like on it, like already out. Or just on its way in. Before I could justify buying a Wii. And the amount of games I have, it's like a small stack. I don't... Frankly, I just haven't been able to find a lot of games that I want. I just found that most of the games I ended up playing doesn't really work well with the controller, so... And I was buying a lot of classics, like arcade classics, which doesn't make any sense, so... Whoa. Why is, like, the... What is this thing here? Is that a tomato? It's got, like, a tinge of green in it. It's weird. It's weird. Alright, let's see. You know what? There's another one that would be a great classic to throw in here. If I have it and if it works. Oh, there's Millipede. That might be fun. Oh, Miss Pac-Man. I don't know. Does Mario Brothers work on this? Not sure. Might not work. No, doesn't work. Too bad. This Pac-Man would be fun. Oh, so there's a Namco and a Tengen Miss Pac-Man. Is there really a difference? I know there's a difference in the original Pac-Man. So let's start with the Namco version. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, 1 to our arcade. Yeah, let's just go with 1. Again, not a great game for using a D-pad on. I don't know why, but I think I'd rather have a joystick when playing this game. But if you think about it, it makes sense. This game was designed with joystick in mind. Especially like an arcade joystick where they're really sturdy, really responsive. Eating those purple ghosts. I really like this one for the Atari 2600. I think that's where the Atari 2600 kind of made it, you know, kind of made up for the horrible PacMan version we got. If I can get that. Oh. So this is the Namco version. Maybe I'll try the Tengen or Tengen or whatever, however you're supposed to pronounce it. Oh geez, I got cornered there. Not a bad version of it though. I think it's kind of similar to the arcade. The sound effects can start driving you crazy though. Oh, they got the cutscenes. That's cool. They kind of changed the color. Almost, I think they're changing up the maze too. I think that was one of the things with Miss Pac-Man is the maze changes. Makes it a little bit harder for you to come up with patterns. Yeah. The sounds are just crazy. Oh. I just got eaten by a ghost. You think about it, the Pac-Man is like the original Ghostbuster. Busting ghosts before the Ghostbusters were busting ghosts. Well, they were eating them, but... That's what I liked about arcade games in the past. They didn't have to make any sense. I mean, what the heck is Pac-Man anyways? Sure, he was supposed to be a pizza. Of course, that was the original idea, was that Pac-Man was going to be a pizza. Why a pizza would be running around eating things is beyond me. And then the limitations to the arcade of actually making an animated pizza didn't fall through. Then they ended up with just a yellow dude. Hey, a pretzel. Let's go get it. And then they ended up making Puck-Man. From what I understand, at least rumor goes, that they couldn't use Puck-Man because too many people would mess with the P and, yeah, turn it into an F. And so Pac-Man. I don't know. That's what I've read. I'm not going to say that that's guaranteed how this history went down, but that's what I've read, and yeah, where did the ghosts come from? What was the idea behind the ghosts? I guess, you know, this game started off in Japan, right? Japan had a lot of scary ghost stories. If you're being chased, when you're being chased by a ghost, makes sense. So, I don't know. All right, let's try the other version because this is the Namco one. So let's see if the Tengen version is different. I know it is on the regular PacMan. Tengen, if it even works. Ah, it doesn't even work. Bummer. Not all these ROMs will work. Let's see, what's another good... Let's see here. Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, okay, well, let's go to PacMan. Let's do some contrast here. Let's go to regular PacMan. I mean, pretty much the same, right? Blue board. PacMan is just regular PacMan. Doesn't have the bow and the lipstick. Has an equally annoying soundtrack in the background. M. Seymour? Did I say your name right? He's saying he's got this complete in box. That's pretty cool. I don't think no, I don't have any PacMan games on the Nintendo. Like actual games. I have it on the Atari. I have it on the Intellivision. MC Mirror. Yes. Again, you know, it's strange that this game existed on the Nintendo, that someone would actually pay full price for these type of games. Like, when Nintendo games were out, regardless of what the game was, the price was pretty up there. So somebody paying this amount of money to get a game like this when they could have got like The Legend of Zelda or Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior, it strikes me as odd. Like, paying for something like this on my Atari makes sense, but on a Nintendo, I don't know. This is all you get. And then they started coming out with compilations where you get like, you know, you get Pac-Man, then you get, like on the PlayStation and stuff, you get Pac-Man, you get Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, and like 3 other variants of Pac-Man. Like, they throw in a ton of things. Green Lantern's asking if I've ever played Ghostbusters on the Wii. No, actually I haven't. I remember seeing the box. I remember like looking at it in the Walmart and stuff like that. I remember seeing it. Hey, there's Super Pac-Man eating the ghosts. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Toon's saying the Namco Museum. Exactly. I mean, pretty sure I have that on like the PlayStation 2, and I think I even have it on an N64. And it comes with Pac-Man, Galaga, and like a whole bunch of other games. That makes sense. But to just buy the cartridge for Pac-Man on the Nintendo, and say you paid $50 for this, like, come on. That's just crazy. What other classics were on the Nintendo? I mean, a lot of these aren't classic games. Bubble Bobble, Boulder Dash. And I'm not talking classic Nintendo games. I'm talking classic arcade games. Like this one. Arkanoid. I mean, this is bat and ball style game. I had a game on the Commodore 64 similar to this. Wasn't called Arkanoid though. Whoa, 3 balls. And I lost them all. I got snowballs. Oh, that's a good one. I need to... Oh, my bat. I know there's... I think there's one where the ball sticks to the paddle. Oh, that slowed it down. That's cool. Thanks a lot, MC Mirror. Saying my channel is great and I've streamed some good friggin' games. Well, I try to stick to the classics. That's where I live, and it's all about the classics for me. You probably won't ever see me playing Fortnite, or whatever the hell that thing is. Everybody keeps going on about it. Maybe when it becomes a classic, I'll play it. I don't know. Wow. I like that there's a lot more going on than just the bat and ball thing, but... Oh, we got the 3 balls. Oh, jeez. Why is it harder to get the, like, to deal with 3 balls? You'd think it would be pretty easy. Saying I stream new releases, but if not a release a day, I stream retro. Yeah. Well, the problem with retro is that it's really not where the money is. So if you want to be a streamer and like, if you're like trying to get, you know, the most amount of money and trying to get all the, you know, the hits and the views and all that stuff, retro really is a difficult field to play in, because I think with YouTube it's going to favor the modern stuff way more than it's going to favor the retro stuff, and possibly even just people looking for things. You know, they're going to look for the more modern games. They're not going to look too much towards the Nintendo or the classics. So. Starting to see in the stream there that, or the chat, that I think I'm starting to lose my stream again. That sucks. Like I said, it's a hit and miss. Sometimes I get good streams, sometimes I get crap streams. Oh. Game over. No. Alright, let's see where my stream's at. Well, anyways. Hey, it's Rapscallions. How's it going? Yeah, I've just been doing, you know, I decided today just to do a whole bunch of just arcade classics on NES. And so, you know, there's still a ton more I didn't touch on. This one actually seems like it can go pretty far. I like the variance in the levels of it. Like, this looks cool. I'm not even playing this. This is the demo. Popeye. Alright, let's do one more. Let's, just for Mr. Toon, I'm gonna do Popeye. Popeye. I know I did a comparison video on Popeye a while ago, where I played, what was it? Was it this one? Yeah, this one, Commodore, and Atari 2600. Again, the 2600 was kind of depressing. Whoa! Bluto. Oops. Totally didn't mean to go down the ladder there. Played this on the... I've never actually played this on a physical arcade, but I have played the emulator. And this game is pretty tough on the emulator. Like, on, like, the arcade version, so... I definitely like this version a lot better than the Atari 2600 though. You can actually make with the graphics, and I just find it flows a lot better. You know, sometimes with the Atari 2600 I can understand the graphic capabilities, but for this one it just didn't work. Almost as if it shouldn't have been made. Although I think at that time they were under pressure to make games for every single system that was out there, so they kind of didn't have a choice. You know, Whoa. I think that's the last one. There we go. Yeah, like this level on the Atari 2600, this level's a mess. It's got like the two different springboards. It just doesn't work. See if I can make it to the last level on this one. Whoa. Okay, let's go to the springboard. Oh crap. I'm gonna go for some spinach. There we are. Popeye wants to dog olive oil up in the fanny. I find that the spinach is, I mean, as much as it allows you to collect everything that's on the board, it doesn't really go beyond that, and it kind of is limited. It only gives you one. So you're going to be buying a cabinet, like a MAME cabinet or an actual real official arcade cabinet. I've always said if I was ever going to have like an arcade cabinet, I'd want the original Donkey Kong. That would be one I really want to have. Thing is though, they're not practical. I mean, they do take up a lot of space, and it's only one game, so like if you want to have a traditional arcade, you gotta have the space for it. You gotta have like a big room dedicated, or an area dedicated, like if you want to have, say, pinball machines. Or this Condor guy is just following me. You gotta have the space for it. I don't have the space for it, so if I wanted something like that, it would definitely be like one shot at it, and that's it. So you'd really have to decide what you want. I find this is all about avoiding. Okay, so I got the spinach. Hit that thing. Bluto is just running away from me. So, oh, I got him. All right. Now the big thing about getting used to in this game is not being able to jump, as you can in almost, well, I'd say like a huge chunk of video games. Your character can jump. Not bad. That's another thing, the Atari 2600 doesn't have this little feature here that the arcade had. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's like a basket that you punch that little punching bag into. You can actually catch Bluto in there. But it doesn't really do much. It kind of stuns him for like a little bit. Let's see if I can get him. There we go. Just stuns him for a little bit. Well, these skulls are annoying. I don't remember the skulls. Let's see how hard Game B is. Hey, what's up, RC in the NYC? Whoa, whoa. Who remembers the movie? Yeah, with Robin Williams? That was great. I know we have that on DVD. I haven't actually watched it in a long time. Something I should actually watch. And, what's her face? Was it Shelley or Sherry Duvall? Plays the olive oil. What's her name? Shelley or Sherry or something Duvall? Oh. Die! No. Oh, just missed him. Shelley Duvall, that's it. Actually pretty good, I mean... They just don't make movies like that anymore. Now they want to just add too much special effects and... I don't know. A lot of those old movies... They just don't make them like that. I mean, look what they did to Super Mario Brothers, for crying out loud. Not that they could have made that any different, I mean... They were doomed from the start on that type of concept. Man, those skulls are annoying. Oh, jeez. Game over. Crud. Oh well. That was fun. I mean, I had some interruptions there. I'm finding that sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't, so whatever. I just keep playing and playing, and hopefully people can see enough gameplay. And I don't know what happens after the stream. I mean, it saves it onto YouTube, so people watching it, I don't know if they see the interruptions or not. But, you know, I had some fun, and I hope everybody else in the chat had some fun. This was a neat concept to play Nintendo arcade classics, not just Nintendo classics like I did last time where I played Super Mario Brothers and all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was nice talking with people in the chat. Oh yeah, EM Muir. I'm in the market for the 5200. That's interesting. There's a lot of people on my channel that I've been talking with who are into the 5200 as well. In fact, I did a video, well, a couple of videos ago about, you know, what kind of console should I buy, and a lot of people were trying to convince me of the 5200. Just so you know, my tomorrow video, I actually have a follow-up video, so I'm actually going to be showing off something I actually just bought, so that should be interesting. Mr. Toon saying I want a 7800 with a pole position too. Yes, 7800. I love the 7800. That was one of the systems where I actually made sure I got my hands on. I mean, I ended up paying quite a bit of money for it, but I got a ton of games with it. I got joysticks with it. I mean, I got a whole box full of stuff. And, you know, shipping to Canada, where I live, it wasn't cheap. So, but it's in good shape, and it's a 7800. If anybody's looking into Atari, I think the 7800 is like one of your better goes at it, because you can actually, you know, play 2600 games on it. But anyways, yeah, I think it's time for me to wrap it up now. I've been playing now for about an hour and a half. Had a little bit of interruptions, but I mean, it happens. It's streaming. That's why I don't do streaming full time, because too much problems with it. But yeah, anyways, hope everybody enjoyed the chat. Thanks for coming in. We had Mr. Toon in there. Oh, Mr. Toon's asking where in Canada I live. I'm in Ontario, so looks like you're in Montreal. So we're not too far away from each other. And yeah, we had Green Lantern. And who else do we have in there? A bunch of people in the chat. Just wanna... Where's my chat window? There it is. and Rapscallions came in for a little bit. And Jeff D'Antino. MC Mirror. Which name I kept screwing up, I'm sorry. And I think that's it as far as chat. Yeah. Oh, we had Retro Revolutions. Oh, Rex Warden was in for a little bit. I don't know if he's still here. I know sometimes he goes silent. He just kind of watches in the background. But yeah, I mean, it was great. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for everybody coming into the chat and coming into the stream. And I'll be uploading my video tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so it's going to be about the new system I just purchased. So tune in for that, and hope everybody has a good night, good day, whatever it is in your time zone. And I'll talk